Hello, community. It's Courtney with Grand Park. Welcome to your Yoga Allah retreat. I'm really glad you're here to practice with us today. We're going to do some restorative yoga today. Why? Because I don't do it enough, and whenever I do it, I feel so nourished, so balanced, and I really want you all to feel the same way. So what you're gonna wanna grab for practice today, and really do grab these things because you'll want them to get the full benefits, is a pillow. If you have a yoga bolster, you are welcome to grab a yoga bolster. I don't have a yoga bolster, so I just grabbed like the biggest, like firmest pillow on my bed. And then you might want an additional pillow, and you might want a blanket. So grab those things. I'm gonna give you just a moment to get those things if you don't have them. I'm actually gonna grab another pillow because I want another pillow. And then this is what restorative yoga is, in case you don't know. So restorative yoga is a very soft practice where we put ourselves in positions and we stay there for like 2-3 minutes, maybe even longer. I'll be probably doing about 2-3 minute holds. And it's a really beautiful way to allow the body to soften, to rest, to release. And I want to share something I heard on a yoga podcast I was listening to. It was between two yoga teachers. And they were talking about this idea of letting go. Letting go, in my experience personally, is like the hardest thing. And it is, when you like let go of a relationship, or let go of like something someone said, or let go of something that you did. It's like, I don't know why we tend to want to hold it, like we can like change what happened. But sometimes it's a very slow process to release, and I think it can be really, they were talking about how it can be dangerous when we're like, oh, just let it go, because like sometimes it does take a little while to soften and release. But one of them was saying like, what if you just let it go for right now? So I love that. So if you're holding something, if there is like a hurt in your life, a tenderness in your life, I'm just gonna give you permission, give myself permission to let it go for this next like 40 minutes or so. So if you need it, if you wanna re-engage with it after this class, you are welcome to. But is there any way you can use this space that you've carved out for yourself today to really be here, to let your body be soft? Just throwing it out there. Maybe let it go for now. So for practice, let's take our pillow and we're gonna take it the long way. So the long way on the mat, if you don't need a mat today, but if you're using a mat, the long way on the mat, I like to actually add a blanket on top of it. You don't have to do that, but if you want to, you can. And then we're gonna take a child's pose over this pillow. So usually we would just come to child's pose and rest ourselves down, but we're gonna have a little support today. So child's pose is knees as wide as your mat. If you don't have a mat, that's like a little wider than your hips. The big toes come together to touch. Maybe have your second pillow on hand for your hips if you need it. And then you're gonna allow your body to fold over the pillow. So you're gonna walk your hands out and then let your right cheek rest down on the pillow. So my knees are wide, my big toes are together to touch. If your hips are like way up and it doesn't feel comfortable, this is where you might add a second pillow as a rest underneath your hips. So the props are a really great way to add support so that we can allow the ground to come up and meet us. So if you need that support for your hips, please take it. Fingertips come down by your heels. The cheek rests softly on whatever the pillow, the bolster. And then I'm gonna invite us to close our eyes, to come into the space of the breath. Really starting to slow down the breath. Really allowing the heart to melt, the body to be held up. Instead of having to carry so much, allow yourself to be held here. Maybe notice if you're even kind of holding yourself up in any way. And maybe through that awareness, you can soften something. And in this theme of letting go for now, can you be a super duper great, awesome exhaler today? So really pressing out full, long exhales. Maybe even making those exhales longer than your inhale. So keeping with the breath, I'm going to give us about a minute of silence here. Just let yourself go, let yourself melt, let the breath flow through. From here, we're just going to switch our neck the opposite way. So I think most of us probably have right cheek down. Go ahead and switch it so that your left cheek rests down and you fully also commit to releasing here. So left cheek is down, fingertips are down by your heels. In this shape, in child's pose, our back body is open. This is where our lungs are. So can you, in this experience of having the lungs being really open here, can you allow yourself to fully exhale, to fully let yourself be held, and to absolutely let go? So connecting with your inhales, releasing on your exhale. I'm going to give us another minute here to be in the breath and to be in this pose of surrender. From where you are, allow your hands to come down underneath your shoulders. Press into your palms. On an inhale, lift yourself up. And then from here, we're going to keep the same setup. So we have our pillow the long way. Maybe we have a blanket over top of it or not. We're going to come into a gentle twist here. So you'll tuck your right hip into the side of the pillow or the bolster. The knees are just bent. This might be a place to add a pillow between your knees. That might feel good, or you just keep your knees separate. And in a twist, we're going to take the right shoulder back so that the shoulders are square to the front. So if your shoulders were in line with your pillow, you'll feel a twist in your belly. Keep that right shoulder reaching back. And then from here, you'll start to walk yourself out. If you're feeling saucy today, you could take your left cheek down. Most of us will probably take our right cheek down. So we're in a twist over the pillow. We're resting everything down. We're melting the heart down. We're letting the cheek rest. You can have that pillow between your legs, or you can just have the knees resting on the knees. I'm going to recommend closing the eyes here, softening in. And again, allowing the inhales and the exhales to move through freely. So we're going to be on this side a couple minutes. See if you can stay focusing on breath and allow your body to melt and release. Maybe see what you can soften. What are you holding that you could release here? It could be energetic, it could be physical, it could be emotional. Can you let it rest for right now? From here, slide your hands down underneath your shoulders, press yourself up. With the least amount of effort, we're going to switch ourselves to the other side. So from here, you will find your left hip at the little base of the pillow. So the knees are bent out to the side. If you want to take your pillow, put it between your knees, you may do that. And let's take time to set it up on this side. So on this side, the left shoulder reaches back. So the shoulders are square with the front of your pillow. Keep working on that little twist. And then start to walk your hands out. Again, if you want a really big twist, you could take your right cheek down. Most of us will rest the left cheek down. And then it's always a good idea when we get into a new restorative pose to check in, make sure that we're not holding up. Let yourself release down. So letting the pillow be the one to hold. Let gravity do the work. Soften your eyes closed if that feels safe, or you can take just a gaze at a single point to keep your mind steady and still. So from here, focusing on your inhales and exhales. Allowing yourself to let go for right now. And we'll be here for just a couple minutes on this side. So allowing yourself to release, allowing the breath to flow through, allowing yourself to be held up instead of having to hold things up. How's your connection to your breath? Can you really, really slow down and lengthen your exhales? So from here, sliding your hands down underneath your shoulders, press into your palms to lift yourself up. And this time we're gonna move the pillow the wide way. So you can cover the pillow's the wide way on the mat. We're gonna come into a little heart opener here. And we'll listen. We can add a second pillow if we need it. So maybe have your second pillow up above the bottom pillow. And then from here, you're gonna place the back of your spine to the pillow, and you're gonna allow yourself to melt over the pillow so that the head falls down and the heart is soft and open. So most of us will probably want to keep the knees bent and the soles of the feet underneath the knees. If you feel more comfortable expanding and lengthening your legs out, listen to that. If this feels like way too much opening in your heart and your throat, this is where you could take your second pillow and rest it so that the heart is open, but you have that second pillow down. I'm actually gonna do that today because my pillow is like really puffy. So it felt a little bit too much to have my neck open. And then you can place your hands out on the body wherever it feels comfortable, softening your eyes closed. Maybe making sure the shoulders are away from the ears, softening across the heart, letting the pillow hold up the heart. And here's where we're gonna add a little bit of breath work together. So we're gonna come into some full inhales and full exhales in and out of the nose. We'll keep it really simple. We'll just do 10 inhales, 10 exhales in and out of the nose. I'm gonna recommend softening the eyes closed here. Let your exhale come all the way out. Through your nose, take in a breath. Through your nose, release a breath. Through your nose, take in a breath. Through your nose, release your breath. Through your nose, take in a breath. Through your nose, release your breath. Through your nose, take in breath. Through your nose, release your breath. Through your nose, take in a breath. Through your nose, release your breath. Through your nose, take in a breath. Through your nose, release your breath. Through your nose, take in a breath. Through your nose, release your breath. Through your nose, take in a breath. Through your nose, release your breath. Through your nose, take in a breath. Through your nose, release a breath. Through your nose, take in a breath. Through your nose, release your breath. From here, allow your breath to move back in. We're going to roll over to one side and gently press ourselves up. From here, you're going to take one of your pillows and you're going to rest it underneath your hips. And I'm going to show us how to get into that. So we're going to take the pillow the wide way. So this is the wide way, this is the long way, wide way. At the hip, the knees are going to be bent, the soles of the feet are going to be underneath the knees. We're going to press into the feet, rise the thighs, just like we were coming in for a bridge pose. And then we'll slide that pillow underneath the hips and then allow the hips to rest down. So it's like a little shelf for the hips here. So if this does not feel comfortable, if it feels like too much opening, you can take the pillow out and just rest the hips down on the floor. If it feels good, be with it here. You can take your arms wide. You can rest the hands on the belly or in cactus arms. And here we're just going to come into 10 more rounds of breath. So softening your eyes closed, let your jaw settle down. Let your breath come all the way out. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale. 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 nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale. Let your breath come back in as it wants. From here, we're going to move from the pillow underneath the hips to the pillow underneath the backs of the thighs. And we're going to take it nice and slow to get there. So on your inhale, you'll press into your feet. You'll rise your hips up enough to slide that pillow the wide way so that it's underneath the backs of the thighs. And this is where we'll extend the legs long. So the pillow is like a little shelf for the backs of the thighs. To me, that feels really good. If that does not feel good to you, listen to that, take it out. You might try resting the pillow on your belly. Some people really like that little bit of added weight onto the belly or the thighs. From here, place your palms up like you're coming into Shavasana. Find some space around your neck. So physically send your shoulders down, maybe even tuck them in a little bit. Allow your eyes to soften, close. Allow your body to open. Allow your jaw to soften. From here, I'm going to talk us through a short guided relaxation exercise. So either eyes closed or eyes soft on a single point at the ceiling. So we'll just start by noticing what the body is touching. So allow your body to soften into whatever is holding it up. So really feeling the pillow where it is. Feeling the back body resting down where it is. Maybe even tapping into the heaviness of your bones and your muscles. Allowing all that to rest. From here, drawing awareness into your feet, so softening into the toes, the balls of the feet and the heels. Allowing the tops of the feet to release. Allowing the ankles to soften. Allowing the fronts of your shins and the backs of your calves to release. Allowing the knees to soften. Drawing your awareness up to the fronts of the thighs and the backs of the thighs. Letting all those areas release. Allowing your hips to soften and open. Allowing your low back to fully release. The middle and upper back, really let those parts touch the ground. Allowing your belly to be soft. So notice if there's gripping or holding in your stomach. Maybe through noticing we can soften something. Allowing the space of your heart to soften and open. Allowing your arms to be heavy at the sides, elbow joints release, the forearms and the wrists release. Checking in with the hands, so letting the hands be soft. Letting the palms open, letting the fingers release. Coming back up to the shoulders, let's just check in there again. So making sure the shoulders are releasing. Neck and throat softens. Allowing your jaw to release. Allowing the cheeks to be heavy. Allowing your tongue to be soft inside your mouth. Allowing the breath to be soft inside your nose. Allowing your ears to hear and allowing that hearing to connect you to the moment that you're in. If the eyes aren't closed, really giving the eyes an opportunity to rest, allowing the eyelids to be heavy, allowing the space between the eyebrows to soften, the entire forehead to soften, top of the head and the hair releases. And then just taking a couple full body inhales and full body exhales. From here, I want you to see if you would feel more restful to stay here, or if you'd like to try either legs up the wall or legs up the couch. If you know that, if that sounds like a good idea, you are welcome to roll over to one side, making a little pillow for your head with your inner arm. And then pressing yourself up. If you know legs up the wall, I don't have a wall to cue it. I'm gonna do legs up the couch, but legs up the wall would be where you would take your hip and your shoulder and you tuck them into either a wall, a door, a cabinet, and then you'll allow yourself to come down to your elbows, hip and elbow at the wall, and then you take your legs up in an L shape at the wall. I'm gonna do legs up the couch, which is also a really nice alternative to legs up the wall. So from here, you're gonna take yourself just like you would tucking yourself into the wall, except instead of using the wall, you're gonna come to a position where the calves are resting on the couch. The feet are just coming out from the knees. And you're just resting the calves down. I like to take my arms wide and just give myself space to take up space. It might feel more comfortable for you to rest the hands on the body. So just listening to what feels good to you. And this is gonna be our final pose. So we're gonna take a full 3 or 4 minutes here to really allow ourselves the support to either be at the wall, at the couch, or if you're still lying on the earth, just enjoying that stillness, allowing the body to soften. So closing the eyes, allowing the body to breathe however it wants. And I'll call us back in a few minutes to end our time together. So give yourself this time. Starting to bring your awareness back to your breath. Just noticing how and where the breath wants to fill in. From here, maybe finding some little wiggles in your fingers and your toes. And then there is absolutely no rush. Whenever you feel ready, rolling over to one side, making a little shelf with your inner arm for your head. And we're just going to pause here. So once again, feeling our body being held up by the floor. And then pressing down into your free hand, coming back to a comfortable seat. Softening the eyes closed one more time. Resting your palms maybe down in your lap. Letting your shoulders come away from your ears. And maybe here just noticing how you feel after a restorative practice. Maybe a word comes to mind, a feeling comes to mind. To me, the word healing or nourishment is bubbling up. I want you to rest your hands over your heart, and we're just going to take one last inhale, exhale into that word or into this feeling that we've created for ourselves today. So go ahead, let your exhale release out. Through your nose, draw in a full breath. Through your nose, release a full breath. Draw your hands into a gesture at your heart, bowing your chin into your heart. Maybe some gratitude for being able to practice together like this, for having some stillness in our day. Thank you so much for being here, for making time for yourself, for Grand Park for having us. The light in me sees and honors the light in all of you. Thank you so much.